Some of my favorite books that Usborne has to offer are our stories that have morals to the end of them. You might be looking at this little guy in front of me and wondering, what the heck is that? This is a what if monster. And he goes along with this book called Jonathan James and the What If Monster. What this book is about this little boy who wants to do things, but his little what if monster tells him it might not be okay. Like has a bowl of food and he says, what if it's yucky? What if it's icky? What if mom yells because you're too picky? At a race, what if you lose? What if you're last? What if you're slow and never get fast? So that's the what if monster, kind of bringing him down, telling him that it's not very good. But at the end, he goes, now wait just a minute, I have something to say. After hearing what ifs all through the day, I hear all your worries, I hear all your claims, but what if you're wrong? Asked Jonathan James. So it goes back through all of the stuff he talked about in the book. So at the beginning it asked if he climbed a tree, and he said, what if I climb to the top of that tree and I never slip or skin up a knee? Go back to the plate. And what if I taste some of that food and it puts my mouth in a really good mood? And what if I run in a really big race and have a great time no matter what place? So it's great to teach kids that they can overcome obstacles, that their what if monster can be beat. It's very soft, by the way. So that's a great book to teach kids that it's okay to try. Another book about being yourself is Bob is a Unicorn. And you don't see Bob on here, but Bob is a unicorn. But nobody understands that Bob is a unicorn except for Bob. So you don't meet Bob. He's trying to play with all of his friends here. He wants to play with the polar bear. He wants to play with but everybody's too busy to play with Bob. Until you get to the very end, where you see a fairy. And she's going to play with Bob, the unicorn. So Bob is a unicorn, but he's really not. It's all about your perceptions in life, that you can be anything you want to be as long as you can believe. Great book. Cuddle Bear is the next one. Cuddle Bear is a great book. Very simple. It just tells kids that everybody needs a hug every once in a while, no matter how scary you might be, how fluffy you might be, how tall you might be. Everybody needs a hug. So that's Cuddle Bear. This actually comes with you can get a bear with it too. You can get the actual Cuddle Bear to go with it as well. Now my absolute favorite Usborne moral story is A Tale of Two Beasts. A Tale of Two Beasts is teaching kids about two sides to every story. So the beginning of this book starts out with this little girl who says that she came across this poor little squirrel, basically, stuck in a tree, and she wanted to help him out. And she dressed him up, and she played with him, and she loved him, and she introduced him to her friends. And then in the middle of it, and then he runs away, and she doesn't know why. But then it switches to the terrible beast side of the story. And it tells it from the beast's point of view, and how he was just minding his own business when this girl came up and kidnapped him and tortured him. Well, tortured might not be the right word for kids, but made him do all of these things, put him on a leash, and made him with all the friends, and they touched and they poked him, and that sort of thing. It's just a great way to let kids know that there's two sides to every story. Some adults need to know that too, but we won't tell them. Anyway, my absolute favorite book that Usborne publishes. I hope you enjoyed these books, some of my favorite. I love stories that teach kids a moral lesson. They're just fantastic. Thanks.